second down, Lawrence. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. But he can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a third down.
Oftentimes, it's the wide open ones that are the hardest to catch. It seems like the ball is in the air forever. You start overthinking it, you start really making more of it than what you should, and you let it slip away.
Not the sharpest of starts on offense here, an early 3rd and long. The Texans going to go ahead and use their first timeout here. Third and long. Now Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring 4th down right in the face.
On 4th down, here's the AFC Pro Bowler from a year ago, Logan Cook, to punt. As the drive went in the wrong direction, he's on to punt it away. And not much doing there. They made sure he would not get free. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. And now the first carry for Joe Mixon. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to... have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Stroud. This is caught. Downfield, it's Dell. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. 23 yards on that pass play. It's good for a Texans 1st down. here with Mixon. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 11, and they'll move the chains with another first down.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground, and tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around, so continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage, mix in the runs with the pass, and they can continue to generate these big explosive runs. I don't think they need to go away from it.
From the 25, here's second down and 7. On the give, this is Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but we have a chance for the first points of this game as they've set up first and goal.
The story of this drive has just been their ability to sustain and get fresh sets of down. Now, in this case, after picking up that big gain on the ground, they find themselves first and goal.
This opening drive going to form so far. Now they've got it first and goal. On the ground, here's the rookie from Southern Cal. Nothing there. He is fortunate just to get back to the line. Now it's second and goal.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on second and goal.
The ball still at the 8-yard line for second down and goal. Here's Stroud. Now sets up a screen for Chubb. This one going to be sniffed out, blown up in the backfield.
The best defenders can just sense when a screen is coming. They can tell the body language of the offensive lineman's pass set. They can tell on the drop of the quarterback. It just doesn't look right. It's exactly the case here. Great job getting to the back and taking him down for a loss.
Third and goal. From the shotgun, C.J. Stroud. That's caught right side, the tight end Schultz. And he'll be out of bounds, well short of the line to gain, and that'll set up fourth down. Tyree Fairbairn coming on to try the field goal. Good snap, good hold, good kick. And the Texans are out to an early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in first and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
And he'll be forced out of bounds, but a very solid return. First carry for the Auburn alum, Hank Bigsby. Room up the sideline at the 45. Down the sideline to the 20. And he will score. Hank Bigsby, touchdown Jacksonville. His first touchdown of the new campaign.
But you think back to their first possession of this game, like it resulted in a punt. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back for possession 2. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So that's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their second possession.
And he'll manage to get this back only to about the 20-yard line. Carry, this is Nick Chubb. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Dell, the motion man. On 2nd down, Stroud. Rush comes, they're setting up the screen, and he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball, modest gain.
From the gun here on 3rd down, it's Stroud. This one broken up. It's incomplete. Good job separating the receiver from the ball, and it is 4th down. They will get away from that one, and they're going to have tremendous field position. This ball hits and goes out of bounds. Lawrence now to throw on 1st down. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass you say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down.
And that's another brutal drop for an offense that has struggled to catch the ball up to this point. And yes, you can nitpick about ball placement and whatnot, but listen, the reality is at this level, if it hits your hands, you have to find a way to come down with it.
And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10. 1st down, Jacksonville. A quick throw on the RPO is complete. And he will be out of bounds on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. The Jaguars with the ball as quarter number 2 begins. The Jags will use the first of their timeouts here. They've got it 2nd down and 2. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete. Trying to get it to Travis Etienne that time. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. And the Jaguars are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 3.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
Etienne will take it in. Touchdown.
Make no mistake about it, he may get the glory, but that does not happen without unbelievable blocking up front. So let's give the big guys all the credit in the world. He's able to displace the defense right there at the point of attack, and that's about as easy a goal line touchdown as you're going to see all year.
Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Chubb. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
Well, as been the case this entire first half, it's been the defense that's really carried the load for this team. Some offensive struggles, but they've done more than their part, coming through again with another big stop for a loss.
A 2nd down throw for Stroud. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose, and it's going to force 3rd down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
Stroud. That's taken in by Chubb. It's a pickup of 12. 1st down for Houston.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the 1st down anyway.
Line of scrimmage is the 31 as they line up 1st and 10. Throwing is Stroud. He'll get this out to his running back. And he's not going to be able to get play. Good defense on the perimeter. It'll be a loss of yardage.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped, and that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league, and it results in a negative play.
Throwing on 2nd down. Stroud. The ball comes out. The Jaguars think they have it, and they do. How about the defense getting to the quarterback, getting access to the ball, knocking it free, and coming up with the recovery?
I'd like to see the quarterback just be a little more secure with the ball, Mike. You can see he's just a little loose, especially when you're operating from the pocket. But give credit to the defender. Nice job attacking the ball, knocking it loose and recovering it. And that is a big takeaway here by this defense.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Lawrence. He finds De'Ami Brown. And he will get into the end zone. De'Ami Brown. Touchdown, Jaguars. Little on now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Jaguars move out to a 21-3 advantage. Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Here's Tremon Smith on the return. And that's well done by the kicking team. He's only able to make it past the 15-yard line. On 1st down, it's Stroud. Looking down the field there, but it falls incomplete.
Quarterback's lucky on that one, Mike, that ball ended up just harmlessly falling to the ground. It was that initial pressure that got to him that forced the errant throw, and fortunately for this offense, that ball didn't end up going the other way.
2nd and 10. Schultz, the motion man. On On 2nd and 10, Stroud again. A short throw pulled in by Schultz. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot, but they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short game.
It's 3rd and 4. Schultz, the motion man. They'll throw here on 3rd and short. That one on target with Kirk. They've got it. First time these two have connected this afternoon, and it'll wind up being a first down. Here's a give up the middle to Mixon. And he'll take this back to the 43-yard line. Devin Lloyd, the linebacker, there to stop him. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. They'll go right back to Mixon. And he's going to have the first down yardage. Across the 50 to the 48.
So, Mike, you know by now my philosophy on 3rd down. If it was up to me, I don't even want to be in 3rd down. I want to get all of my conversions on 1st and 2nd down and be able to stay in those neutral down situations. So it's exactly what they do here. They lean on the ground game and pick up a fresh set of downs.
And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. They face 2nd down and 7. Dell, the motion man. To throw, it's Stroud. Throw here down the field. Will fall. Incomplete. Tank Dell was the one he was looking for. And 3rd down coming up.
Initially, a nice job by the receiver. He actually was open downfield. He was able to get behind the defense, but the window closed up so quickly they couldn't get the ball to him. Prevents the big play.
Open man, that's Collins. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the 1st down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks. And now they got a 4th down decision to make.
On 4th down, Stroud. That is incomplete. They couldn't get the connection on 4th. Gonna give the ball over on down. First down throw for Lawrence. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
Now 2nd down throw for Lawrence. Now a screen set up for ETN. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
We're starting to see this so often, Mike. The days of just having a running back who you're just going to turn around and hand it to, yes, that's still a critical part of NFL offensive football, but their ability to be used in the passing game, just one more thing for the defense to have to defend, make them go sideline to sideline, line of scrimmage to the end zone, defend every blade of grass, and a really good running back goes a long way in doing that.
Now a timeout for Jacksonville. Their 2nd. Clock will stop just under 30 seconds to go in this 2nd quarter. 2nd down, they need 3. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be third down.
The pass protection's been a little bit shaky at times, and that was the case there. And even though they're not going to go down for allowing a sack, it was allowing the pressure that ultimately prevented that pass from being completed.
Lawrence from the gun here on third down. He's got it! And he's into the end zone! Brian Thomas, touchdown Jacksonville. Extra point by Little is good. And the Jaguars stretch it out, leading now by the score of 28-3. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. Here's Smith to return it. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. From the shotgun, C.J. Stroud. He'll get this complete over the middle with Kirk. Now inside the 25. What a connection. He's down inside the 5-yard line. And the offense will take one here. Timeout with 6 left on the second quarter clock.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
You know, we spent so much time talking about the heroics of a game-winning drive to end the fourth quarter in 2-minute mode. Now let's talk about a 2-minute mode, Mike, at the end of the first half. It might not be in walk-off fashion, but I'll tell you what, executing that here, going into halftime, changes this entire game.
So 2 seconds left to play, and the kick's away. A safe kick taken at the 5. And he's going to be taken down. That is going to do it for us in this first half. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. Here's Smith to return it. And he will only be able to muster the 20-yard line on that return. On first down, they'll start with Mixon. He'll move it ahead for about 3 yards. That's Darnell Savage up from the secondary to make the stop. From the 23, here's 2nd down and 7. Again, they'll give it to Mixon. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. 17 yards on that play. It's good for a Texans first down.
Finding yourself down here, multiple scores in the second half. The defense is going to give you some friendly run looks, so don't be afraid to mix it in there. But if you're going to find yourself coming back from this deficit, you're going to have to do it primarily through the air with just a little bit of mix of the run.
Stroud to throw here on 1st and 10. A throw caught by Dell on the outside. And he's going to be out of bounds just beyond midfield. Give them 12 on that one. They are on the march. Another first down. Here's Mixon. Open space to the 35. And he will score. Joe Mixon Touchdown, Texans. Big play out of the running game as the back accelerates all the way to the house for the rushing touchdown.
And Mike, when we talk about burst, that's what we're talking about. And they told us all week, be ready for this guy. He's got something special to him. And that long touchdown there is exactly what they're talking about.
And so after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it off. He fields it at the 8. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Play action now. It's Lawrence. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up second down. They go play action for Lawrence. Going for it all. And that is incomplete. Travis Hunter was the intended target. And it's going to be third down.
I love that they continue to stay aggressive here, Mike. And that route right there, we used to call it a big 8. It's a deep post route, but the ball placement isn't exactly where it needs to be, and that's a missed opportunity.
Now, faking the give. This one's going to be taken in over the middle. They get 10 yards on the hook up there. That's good for a Jaguar first down. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass you say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up second down.
So the receiver does everything right, except for the most important part. He runs a nice route, great separation downfield, but now you just got to finish that thing off with a catch.
Lawrence now on second down. He'll let this one go deep for Thomas.
I'll tell you what, Mike, with this guy's speed, he's not an easy target to overthrow, so that's one of those where they're telling this quarterback, throw it with everything you got. Just lay it out there, and more times than not, he's going to run under it. But in this case, just a little bit too much on it. He winds up overshooting his man.
So after back-to-back incompletions, it is now 3rd and 10. Lawrence. Quickly to the outside and complete. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the first down marker. And this one's going to land out of bounds as they'll mark it inside the 20. On 1st and 10, here's Stroud. And he won't get away. Good open field tackle there to get him down behind the line.
Well, the best screen plays, of course, you want the offensive lineman out in front of the running back. They act as his escort, his lead blockers. But what you can't afford is for the defenders to be in the backfield and get to the running back, because those offensive linemen, they can't help him at all.
So they go backwards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 13. From the gun, here's Stroud. A throw there on 2nd down, going to be incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
It is 3rd and long. Throwing is Stroud. He'll let one go deep for Kirk. And he can't hang on. It is incomplete. A chance there, a big chance for a huge play, but he couldn't reel it in. The Texans set to punt this one away, as he'll take this a yard or two into his own end zone. That's taken in at the 50. And he's going to be brought down after a short return, and that's where his team will get possession of the football. Lawrence will give it to Bigsby. What a run. He brings it to the red zone, taken down inside the 20-yard line. A gain there of 24 yards. 1st down, Jacksonville. Lawrence gives this one to Etienne. He'll be taken down, but just like that, they are in business. It's 1st and goal. They'll run it here with Etienne. Trying to push the pile forward, but he's not going to get in. They stop him up short.
With how fast they were all over that play, you almost wonder, Mike, was there a pre-snap tell? Did they know that play was coming? Because I'll tell you, that defense was on it from the start.
Bigsby will score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score. And, Greg, the big guys up front, they deserve some praise on that one.
Absolutely, Mike. And it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job, and they reward their offense with a touchdown.
Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Here's Smith to return it. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will take over. To throw here on 1st down. And downfield, he's got Schultz, the tight end. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. Terrific starter there. Gain of 15 and a 1st down. On 1st down, it's Stroud. That's into the hands of Dell on the right side. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Dell, the motion man. Throwing on 2nd down. Stroud. That's caught. It's Joe Mixon. And he's going to be out of bounds awfully close to that 1st down marker, but they're going to mark him just short. So 3rd down coming up.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short gain.
So both teams trade touchdowns in that frame as we get through the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. To throw, it's Stroud. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Christian Kirk. And it's going to be 4th down.
So prior to that 3rd down call, Mike, I thought they put themselves in a pretty good situation. At that down and distance, they had run and pass, both at their disposal, but nice job by the defense being up to the task. Force the incomplete, brings up 4th down.
Kirk is the motion man. Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Joshua Williams. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
The best way, Mike, for a defense to bait these bad throws is don't allow the quarterback to throw the ball to their first read. By the time he gets to the 3rd or 4th read, in this case, the defender has already put himself in position, jumped that route, challenged the receiver, and that's a big-time takeaway.
And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They got it inside the 15. They get 22 yards there. That's good for a Jaguar 1st down. Now here's Lawrence. Very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete. Brian Thomas, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
That's one he'd love to have back. An opportunity to score 6 was right there for the taking. Just wasn't quite meant to be.
2nd down, Lawrence. That's complete to ETN. And a good job rallying to the football. Holding just a gain of a yard and sets up 3rd down.
Now listen, I'm going to give the guy credit. It was a really nice catch, keeping his feet inbounds along the sidelines. It just doesn't amount to much in the grand scheme of things.
Now Lawrence. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down. So it is 4th down. And that'll bring on Cam Little for this Jaguars field goal. Little's kick is good. And the Jaguars will add to their lead here in the 4th quarter. So after the field goal, back out is Little to kick this one away. In motion now, it's Collins. Stroud. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down.
All these defensive linemen, I promise you, they all want sacks. That is how you get paid. That is how you make your name. But it's also the other plays where you can affect the quarterback. Can you make them feel uncomfortable? Or in this case, you don't get the sack, but it was the hit
that's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Foye Oluokun.
I would love to see his weapons do a better job, Mike, especially in the middle of the field, getting open in these zones. I just feel like there's been tight coverage, a lot of little windows to throw through, and yes, anytime you turn the ball over, it's on the quarterback, but the rest of this supporting unit needs to do a better job helping.
Lawrence now to throw on 1st down. That's over the middle and intercepted. It's the safety, Jalen Petrie. And the Texans are going to have the ball at their own 18-yard line.
You know, Mike, we're seeing both these offenses come out here and play a little fast and loose in the passing game. The last 2 throws for each team, both resulting in an interception. Now, don't get me wrong. Neither of these secondaries is going to complain. They'll happily feast on those type of throws the rest of the game. But I get a sense on these next 2 drives, come out here, establish the run, dose of ground and pound. Let's settle things down offensively and regroup for the rest of this game. So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
He's taken down, but just shy of midfield. That's 13 more on that play, and quickly another first down.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest, and while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
That's a gain of 16. This offense is humming. A first down. Stroud going to set up to throw. That's deep for the back of the end zone. This one batted away. It's incomplete. Good hands there in the end zone, and that'll bring up second down.
It's hard to play that ball any better than the way that defender did right there. I mean, to stay patient throughout the entire play and make sure that not only are you in prime position to make it, but that once the ball is there, attack it, knock it down, and save a touchdown.
And they will take him down at the 20-yard line. Once again, it's Chubb. Not much there, maybe a yard. They'll come up on a second down and 8. Stroud to throw. That's taken in by Chubb. Down inside the 10. And he will get into the end zone. Nick Chubb. Touchdown, Houston. Well, Greg, the light's still on way down at the end of the tunnel here. They are climbing back into this one with that touchdown here in the fourth quarter.
And they have a tall task ahead of them, Mike, but they have a chance. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen. They got a 2-possession game here late. They're going to need a couple stops, and they're going to need a couple things to bounce their way.
This one not quite over, but down a couple of scores. We're going to get an onside kick. The kickoff unit is out there, and they'll send this one away.
Late in the game, this is where you see teams really start taking some chances. And boy, this was a big one, but it's not going to work out.
Here comes Etienne running to the left, and he's going to be stuffed well behind the line of scrimmage. A play going absolutely nowhere.
So these situations, Mike, are always very tricky for a play caller. Of course you want to keep the clock moving. You're just trying to run the game out and maintain this lead, but you also don't want to become overly predictable. So with the defense just selling out to stop the run, I think they have to mix in a few high completion percentage passes to just at least keep them off balance.
You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively. It's third down. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
I think he predetermined that third down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there. And you talk about having confidence in your kicker, Mike. I mean, to send him out there to kick from midfield, and what does he do? He repays you with that confidence with a 60-yard field goal. I mean, that was something else.
Here's Smith to return it. Good job in coverage. They're going to get him down short of the 20-yard line. Throwing from the pistol, Stroud. Just trying to avoid the rush there. He's hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete. He'll try again here. 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, C.J. Stroud. In trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Emmanuel Ogba in for the sack. It is a loss of 8, and now it's 3rd down. Now Stroud. That is incomplete. Here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end.
And for a 3rd time today, he's intercepted. And he is going to bring this one back. A DB's dream, a pick 6 for touchdown. So they make the decision on 4th down to try to go for it. Instead, it goes back the other way for a pick 6.
Yeah, and anytime you go for it on 4th down, you're saying, hey, we don't mind rolling the dice and taking some chances. In this case, it backfires. The defense is able to capitalize, and they take it all the way back the other way.
Here's Smith to return it. And he will get cut down short, shy of the 20-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Stroud. He'll let one go deep for Kirk. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield. Stroud to throw here on 1st and 10. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete, but pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down. Here's Stroud. And for the 4th time today, he has been intercepted. Picked off by Joshua Williams.
And that should be the final dagger in this one. I mean, barring something dramatic happening here, Mike, I just don't think there's enough time or possessions left in this game to pull off any sort of comeback.
Play action now. It's Lawrence. That one down the field, but it is incomplete.
How often do we see teams kind of nurse these big leads, Mike, especially as the game unfolds? They turn to the ground game. They try to slow everything down. Well, not this offense. They refuse to take their foot off the gas. They're still mining for explosive plays, and frankly, with the way today's gone, I don't blame them.
Texans going to use the last of their timeouts here. They get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining here in the 4th. Third, they need 8. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And they're going to get to him and take him down, taken back to the other side of midfield. Daniil Hunter, he's in there to drop him. and it leads to 4th down. Punting unit comes on. Jaguars will kick it away. As this drive quickly stalled out, he's on to punt it away. To throw, Stroud. A throw left side, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Nico Collins was the intended receiver there. And it'll lead to a 2nd down. Now Stroud. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. And he might be fortunate just to avoid the sack. And it'll set up a 3rd down.
And the story of the game has really been the inability of the offensive line to keep this pass rush away from the quarterback. And it's a big reason they find themselves here trailing in the 4th quarter. So as they turn to this passing game to try to mount a comeback, they've got to do a better job protecting the quarterback.
The offense not coming off the field, and here's 4th down. To throw is Stroud. That's incomplete. Daring call on 4th down. Does not work out. And it results in a turnover on down.
You find yourself down big. It's the 4th quarter. There's really no choice but to go for this at this point. But once again, this defense, they're up to the task, and they come through yet again with a huge stop.
A kneel down here from Lawrence, and that should